Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Very pleased to introduce Patrick Cantlay. Patrick, welcome to your 6th Masters. Patrick's had a sensational year since the last Masters. He capped off certainly by a victory at the Tour Championship. This year you've had several top 5 finishes and would appear to be coming into this week in strong form. Patrick, could you tell us a bit about your preparations for this week and walk us through what you're doing to prepare for Thursday?
Yeah, I think, I just got in this morning, so I'll go see the golf course, probably 9 holes every day. And it looks like there's a couple changes. 3 or 4 of the greens are different this year, and so spend a little extra time on those greens. And other than that, it'll just be prep as normal.
Great. Let's open it up for questions. Yes, please.
Patrick, regarding those changes, what do you do in advance to educate yourself, or do you just try to go on what you see when you get out there?
Yeah, I came up a couple weeks ago and spent a little extra time just on the greens that were new. And I think that's all what it is. I think this place, with the changes that they do every year, unlike some others, you can't really putt from memory. You have to keep updating your memory because, the green, for example, on 18 is different than, it was 3 or 4 years ago. And so just knowing that, you have to maybe be a little more cognizant and not just go to default of what you remember.
Please.
Patrick, how has your life changed since winning the Tour Championship? And did you have the Coke machine? What did you do with that?
Yeah, the Coke machine's in the gym at my house. Other than that, life has not changed too much. I'd say, I still wake up every day and I'm trying to be the best person I can and trying to golf as best I can, and that occupies a lot of my brain space, and that's how it was before last year as well.
Doug.
And if you try to prepare yourself and treat each tournament equally, is it difficult to do here just based on the way things go, the space that's created, your treatment, the fact you're not wearing a hat right now, little things like that?
I think trying to make it the same all the time is helpful. I will definitely note that there's added importance this week, and I think everybody in the field knows that. And that's no different than the other majors and Ryder Cup. And with the amount of tournaments I play, that's roughly 20% of the schedule, or some, definitely in the teens. So I don't know if there's too much different than normal, but you're definitely cognizant of making sure that all your ducks are in a row a little more than a regular week.
Patrick, hi. Given your success in last year, the momentum and carrying it forward, how challenging is that to stay right up there in terms of mindset as well as we come into this huge week of golf?
I don't think past successes make it more difficult in the future. I think it makes it easier. I think being able to draw on those past experiences and being able to perform on big stages only bodes well for big stages in the future. And so I try to remind myself of the good things I've done, and when I do get in those moments, keep bringing up those past experiences of what it felt like. And I think having a cachet of experiences like that only helps you going forward.
If I could ask, Tiger Woods' potential return to the sport this week, what's your take on that? What would it mean to the sport, and how has he inspired players like you over the years?
I think seeing him being so far superior to most any golfer since Nicklaus, naturally you become inspired by that type of performance and dedication to the mastery of anything. And so for someone that's dedicated most of their life to playing golf as well as I can, seeing someone who has come as close as anybody else to mastering the game, I think that's admirable. I think he's a good example of, life's not always perfect. And so it's really exciting to see him on his highs. And so I hope that he is able to tee it up this week and play well. And obviously that's the greatest thing for our sport. There's definitely a different feel in tournaments that he tees it up in.
Players are feeling that buzz of anticipation?
I would say, yeah. Everyone's excited about it, and even last week, hearing the potential for him to play was exciting to the guys.
Patrick, back to the golf course and your visit here a few weeks ago. Your impressions of the 11th hole, new tee shot, new landing area, and some of the changes around the green, outside the green.
Right. It won't play too different if you hit a good drive and hit it in the middle of the green, which is what everyone's trying to do on that hole anyway. I think if you got it downwind, you could see guys maybe hit it further down there just because of how it seems to almost come in on both sides and then go down the hill a little more. And there's, probably a wider landing area. So guys may try and hit a little more of a stock shot opposed to before it felt like you had to maybe hit a little fade off that tee. So all in all, I don't think it'll play too different, but if anything, they made it just a little tougher.
In the back.
Patrick, you were just on the putting green with Tiger. I mean, I saw you guys share a moment. What was that like to see him back out there trying to get into the swing of things again?
Yeah, great to see him. I'm sure he's been prepping hard the last little bit, and living in Jupiter, heard rumblings when I would go to Medalist that he had been out there, and so that's really exciting. And I just said it was good to see him. Obviously got to know him better than I ever had at President's Cup, and we all had a really nice time there in Australia. And so since then, it's always good to see him, although it doesn't seem like we get to see him enough out here.
Patrick, growing up at Virginia, were you practicing on the putting green, having a contest with your dad or brothers about trying to, thinking about winning the Masters, or was there another major? Was that the major that you most thought about, or?
Yeah, I'd say most everybody feels like the Masters is the tournament they want to win the most. And I think part of that is where you win your tournaments somehow feels important, and the fact that it's here every year makes the history of the event a little more elevated. Everyone remembers what each winner did on each hole the year that they won, and so that bit of nostalgia, I think, makes this tournament what it is.
What's your earliest memory of watching the event?
Hard to say. I don't have one specific memory, but I can definitely remember, my family would get together and watch the Masters all growing up. My family is a golfing family, so we'd get together with my grandparents and watch the Masters every year when I was very little.
Were you able to watch it the years that you were hurt, or was it too tough?
Oh, yeah, I watched golf while I was hurt. All my contemporaries, all the guys I played junior golf with, were out there winning tournaments, winning majors, winning big events. And so it was fun. It was fun to watch those guys who I knew play so well and win tournaments.
It's the word you'd use, fun. It was fun to watch?
Yeah, better than watching people I don't know out there. Obviously it wasn't ideal, and it definitely fueled me to get back to playing. But I definitely didn't shy away from watching while I was hurt.
Given this is the only, the one major same course we keep coming back to, and your sample size is moderate at this point. Do you tend to have to think more on the good memories or the bad ones here?
Definitely good. I think I really like the golf course, and I think it's really good for my game. And so I'm excited every time I come here. I think it's always in great shape, and the more reps you get at this golf course and the more experience you can build, I think that helps you each and every year down the road.